Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Great Shouts, marketing webinars. My name is Ed Davidson. I'm a fractional head of marketing. Every 2 weeks, we come together with a specialist in their B2B marketing field. We have a session where they go into a presentation for 15 to 20 minutes, and then 10 minutes, we get to grill them with questions at the end. This fortnight, we've got Georgia. Hey, Georgia, and she's going to go through everything to do with customer success. Over to you, Georgia.
Thank you, Ed. Hey, everyone. I'm Georgia. It's great to meet you all. Happy New Year as well. So, as Ed mentioned, within this session, we're going to touch base on customer success. So, other things that we'll touch base on as well. So, what I thought would be quite nice is just to give a short but sweet introduction to Hike and myself. We'll touch base on why is customer success important for the business? We'll then go into failures. So failures, I don't really like to call failures. I often like to say learnings instead. But what have we faced? What have we learned from our failures that have now led to our successes? And then, of course, we'll finish on a Q&A session as well. So just a quick introduction to myself then. As mentioned, I'm Georgia. It's great to meet you all. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Hike. Now, my background is actually more within marketing. So I went to university, did my undergraduate, did my postgraduate degree in digital marketing, which is how I came to Hike actually. So I actually started off at Hike as a digital marketing exec, so completing the SEO work for clients. From there, I transitioned into a account manager, so building more relationships with clients, coming from more a support aspect. And then from there, went over to customer success. So now I'm a manager of that area of the business. Definitely feel like I found my feet as much as I love marketing. That's quite nice about our business as well, because it's still a marketing business. So I still get to, enjoy marketing, the SEO side, but also the customer success side as well. So, really building them relationships with the customers, building the customer success team as well. And yeah, really just seeing where we can provide most value as possible. So a quick introduction to Hike then. What are we? We are a DIY SEO SaaS. So we are a software business, small business, but growing rapidly, which is super exciting. So I actually joined the business 3 years ago. And when I started, I think I was the 6th employee. We're now, oh God, how many? We're around 22, 23 employees. So we've grown massively within the last year, which is super exciting, great to be a part of. We were founded in 2018 by Andrew Allen and Kieran Headley. And why the business was started is basically to enable anyone to be able to complete SEO activities. So when we first created Hike, I say we, Andy and Kieran, first created Hike, there was only really 2 different avenues for businesses to go down with regards to SEO. So one of them was paying for an SEO expert, which I'm not sure if any of you guys are aware, but can be quite expensive for an SEO agency. Or the other option was to use an existing SEO tool, which at the time on the market, you still needed somewhat SEO experience to really understand how to use the SEO tool and to do the SEO on the website, basically. More technical tools out there. So that's where we kind of fall into play. So our customers are genuinely small business, even micro businesses, to be honest, like your typical bakery down the road. We do have customers from all different industries though as well. So some in the tech space, for example, some larger businesses, larger agencies in particular. But yeah, all different types of customers basically, but majority of them are smaller. And we now support over 13,000 small business users as well. So again, super exciting to be part of that growth, particularly from, a customer success angle. So what is customer success? I imagine you guys are probably aware of what customer success is, but there is a lot of different resources out there. Everybody kind of has their own viewpoint on what customer success is, depending on the nature of the business or their background. Now, coming from a marketing background, when I moved over to customer success, I was actually saying to Ed that there's the first few months of my role was actually trying to understand and learn what is customer success. What does it mean? What does that potentially look like in Hike, in our business? And there's so many different resources out there, again, that everybody has different viewpoints, but it could be account management, for example, in certain businesses is more customer success. It could be more actually customer support, which is quite different. For us, customer support is very different from customer success. Support is a lot more reactive, whereas with customer success, we want to be a lot more proactive. So a couple of different quotes that I've added here. For us, what customer success is anticipating customer challenges or questions and proactively finding solutions and answers to them. It is also providing value at every step of the customer journey. So this is quite a big one for me. Customer success is trying to make sure that your customers are successful in your product, within your business. And we do that by making sure that, they're reaching them aha moments, and then success moments through offering them value. So why customer success? Customer success, from my knowledge anyway, it's definitely a growing department within businesses. Up until a few years ago, I think it was a lot more from an American term, and a lot more kind of account management style. So it's great to see, across the world is definitely growing. Businesses are seeing the importance of customer success. So this is why. 80% of customers say that the experience of a company provides is equally as important as its services. So, that is massive, kind of stands out alone of how important the experience that we offer the customer is, not just speaking from a support avenue here, but also, the customer education, for example, the experience that they have in the platform, which all kind of ties back to customer success. And also 76% of customers mention that they want companies to understand their needs and expectations. That is a massive part of customer success. Again, if we want our customers to be successful, if we want to be successful in the business, then we need to make sure that we understand their needs. What are they trying to be successful within? What are their expectations of the platform? And making sure that we exceed them. Now, the benefits of having a customer success department as well. So a 5% increase in retention rates can lead to a 25% increase in profitability. So that just shows exactly how important customer success can be within your business. And also customer success drives up to 50% of total growth. So it's massive, I guess customer success, a lot of us will think about retention and upsells, and that's really from a business point of view of what we want to, increase, making sure that customers are happy, they are successful using our platform. So therefore, we're going to have loyal customers, which is cheaper than having to acquire new customers. They will then speak highly of us, more marketing, which is free for us through word of mouth. And also they're probably going to spend more money as well if they're happy. So what I thought would be good was just to touch base on a couple of the different main areas within customer success, starting off with onboarding. Now, as I mentioned, when I moved over to customer success, what I found to be really difficult when I was in that research stage of trying to understand, okay, I'm in a new job role here, I'm running a department by myself, what should we be doing? it was very difficult to actually find information and resources where companies discussed these are the day-to-days, these are the things that we have tried and maybe didn't work, but also these are the actual things that we've tried and we've seen success in. There's a lot of more like theory out there, which is great. It's great to really spark ideas. When I was listening to a podcast just an hour ago, because yeah, it's great, open up your mind, it gives you a lot of different ideas. How can I apply that to the business? But what I personally felt was missing was information on, okay, what are the day-to-days, what can we actually be doing? So I really wanted to share that within this presentation. So onboarding challenges we faced. First of all, we don't have a sales team. We have a low touch model where customers, they just sign straight up through our website. So we don't have somebody there setting customer expectations. It's heavily involved in our ads, which is, quite a challenge for us, because of course we want to make the sales, but then also if we're setting the bar too high and we can't deliver on that with the software that we're providing, that's where we see a higher churn, particularly in the onboarding phase or the first month. Number two, we don't have a free trial. So a lot of our competitors, other SaaS companies, they have a free trial, again, to kind of get rid of that, I want to say like good churn, where customers, they sign up, and within that free trial, that's where they'll realize, okay, maybe this isn't the tool for me. It's not suiting my expectations of what I want within this type of software. Then they wouldn't be classed as churn. For us, they are. And we also target two main different customer types, so agencies and small businesses. Yeah, we have one development onboarding experience, which is quite a challenge for us. So what are our failures? Now, right at the start, when customer success was born within the company, I actually used to spend a lot of my time offering 30-minute demo calls. So it was actually pre-sale, so it was more sales rather than customer success, but it was 30-minute demo calls to everyone. So whether they're an agency, whether they're a small business, bearing in mind the cost for our software is very low, so it's around $50 per month. You can imagine it wasn't actually the best use of our time. And we also, alongside that, used to provide a 30-minute onboarding or post sign-up call, where we used to offer tips and tricks basically on their SEO strategy. So that was a lot of time that we spent, where we would find that, okay, we've put this so much resource into this, into this one customer who's actually only paying us £50 a month. One other thing that we tried, so this was actually successful when we first started running it. However, after a few reviews, we found that, okay, it wasn't working as successfully towards the end, which is why we stopped doing them. But we used to do a new user video. So what we did is we stripped back the demo video, the demo calls. We stripped back the 30-minute call after sign up, and we introduced what we called a new user video. So all of our customers, we would record them a personalized video with our face in using Loom, and we would run them through the platform. So we would only spend around 5 minutes or so per video, but we would give them tips and tricks on their strategy. Introduce ourselves, give them a couple tips and tricks on where to start in the platform if they were unsure, which was great because it meant that they could see a face of the business. It was very personalized. Customers really appreciated it because it was quite a surprise for them, which was great at the start. But as we found, kind of customer expectations changed a little bit over the time of doing it. So we actually found that they weren't helping churn in the end. So we got rid of them. Another failure as well, something that I think is always going to be a little bit of a struggle, particularly for a SaaS business, is trying to understand, okay, do we have too much education, too much communications via email, chat pop-ups, or, do we not have enough? Really trying to find that balance. A key thing in customer success, I guess, is trying to deliver the right information, the right support at the right time in the customer journey to the right person. So that's always, I think, an ongoing challenge. But what we definitely found is we didn't have enough education, I think. And then we went opposite and we went for too much education on the onboarding process. So kind of overpowered the customers a little bit. So from that, what did we learn? We now push out pre-recorded demo videos instead. They have all of the information around the platform there. They can always reach out to our live chat as well if they do have any further questions, but it really saves us that time there. And we also introduced tooltips. So we use a tool called Useful, which is great because it offers customers, as they go through the onboarding process, different tips and tricks on, okay, this is why you need to do this. This is why it's important. So we kind of went from sales-led, having the demos before sign up, to product-led. So customers will just sign straight up through the website. Again, has its pros and cons. What we also found, and this is quite a recent thing that we started kind of picking back up again, really, is onboarding calls. So we reduced them from 30 minutes to 15 minutes. And what's included in the onboarding call has very much changed from what it used to be with the 30-minute post sign up. But we've introduced them. It's probably around month 2 that we have picked them up. And the onboarding call, it will be an introduction call between the team and the customer. And we just really try and understand, okay, what are you looking for? What is success to you within the platform? And making sure that any initial questions they have are answered, but then also they know exactly what different sessions we have coming up. We have power hours that I'll go on to in a minute. But if they do need support, where do they go to? Here's our knowledge base articles, here's our live chat, etc. So making sure they know exactly where to go if they do need that support along the way. So as I mentioned, group power hours. Power hours are basically group webinars where we run through a different section or topic around SEO or the platform, and clues in the name, but they're group sessions. And it's just a really great session, which involves that, but also very much an open Q&A. So any SEO questions that customers have, they can ask the SEO experts, but also around the platform as well. And me and Ed were just discussing this earlier on, but what's so nice as well is we see a community within them sessions as well, where customers are talking to other customers, they're helping each other out, they're connecting on LinkedIn, etc. So yeah, really, really great. We found that has really helped with churn as well.
I love the idea of a power hour. It's great. I like the name of it as well. Just a time check, Georgia. We're nearly at 20 minutes past. I want to make sure that we have got time for a few questions at the end. I can see the slides below.
I talk a lot. I'll speed through, guys. So quick one, going into support then. So challenges we face, SEO can be very confusing, particularly our target audience, little to no SEO experience. We need real-time support for our US customers. We have a lot of customers in the US. This is a big challenge, even still to this day for us, having that real-time support. And again, lack of education. We didn't really have a knowledge base there, or an adequate knowledge base anyway, that was full of different, queries, SEO platform. So failures from what we learned was we didn't have the ability for customers to book in a call. Now they can freely book in a 15-minute Q&A call with the experts if they need, so our CS team, which we found really helps. Q&A calls helps so much with cancellations. It keeps customers engaged, etc. Won't go into too much detail. We also spent a lot of time on support for responses that actually could have been automated. So it kind of takes me on to the success, but what we found is we've reduced human support by 25% with the help of AI. Now, don't get me wrong, AI can be a little bit scary, particularly with support. I was very hesitant at first, but what we found is working with AI, it really means that we can focus on the more complex, more technical queries or issues that come through into our live chat, rather than having to then spend that time on queries that can just be responded to by AI or by a knowledge-based article. So yeah, that kind of takes me on to that. Having the mindset that AI can take all responses, definitely not the case. AI, as great as it is right now, is still in its early phases. we definitely learned that you need to work with AI. If AI is something that you want to go down the route of, from support in particular, you have to oversee it. You have to make sure all of your resources are up to date for AI, to be able to best provide support. Successes, so pretty much touch base on all of them, but one thing that we have done as well is we've extended our support times for US customers by hiring. So we have Louisa now, who is our North American lead, who manages calls and live chat within US times, but then we've also introduced flexible working hours as well within the team. Okay, Ed, do we have time to touch base maybe on just retention?
Yeah, just maybe go through your successes from retention and upselling. Let's focus on those.
Fair. So successes from a retention point of view, and retention, everything we've mentioned kind of falls into retention. Retention is quite a loose word, but nevertheless, successes, so collecting more data on our customers and how they use the platform, a massive thing that we have recently started doing in the previous year, something even company-wide that we want to make sure we're doing as we go into 2024, collecting more data. How can we use that data? Another thing, in-app messaging / emails, again, touch base on this earlier, but making sure we're sending the right communication at the right time to the right customer. And then account management for bigger clients only. And we've got development changes there as well. So customer success is not just, or retention, I should say, it's not just customer success. It is a company-wide effort, which is a lot where product kind of comes into that as well, or development. We've then got upselling. So our successes, agency-focused support. So a lot of kind of our upselling, we want agencies to add more websites into the platform, but they can't do that if they don't have more clients. So how can we help support that? We're running more webinars, help articles, and sell resources as well so that they can use. Being more conscious of who, what, and when we upsell. So this is a big thing. No point trying to upsell certain features if it's not going to be applicable. You know, the customer's not going to get value from it. So that's a big thing we're continuing to take into 2024 as we dive in further to our upsell strategy, and creating more affordable options as well. So one thing that we found was one of our biggest upsells was a strategy. And we found that if somebody ordered a strategy, they're a lot less likely to cancel. I think it was around 1% likely to cancel. Now, what we found was it was actually, we'll get more sales if we introduced a more affordable strategy option. So that's exactly what we've done. More customers are ordering strategies. We're reducing the churn, which is really nice. So we do also have the CS team, but I won't touch too much detail on the Ed. I'll kind of let you fire over the questions because I appreciate I've talked a lot. Sorry, guys.
No worries. The time goes very quickly.
It
And there's a lot
does.
to talk about on customer success. So it's always, condensed amount of time we've got available. But yeah, thank you for that. And it's really useful to see it in the context of what's worked and what hasn't worked. And just like the idea of the fact, as you say, you've gone up to that amount of team now, that there's a real kind of need for customer success. And it's so powerful to be able to have it just move the needle in terms of retention, especially when everyone knows acquisition costs are so expensive.
Yeah.
You'll just come off share screen this moment, so I can kind of see and chat that way. And yeah, we've just got kind of 5 minutes for questions. So jump in, you guys, if anyone's got any questions. But yeah, I've got a load here. So in terms of, you mentioned the tool Useful. I'd love to ask you more about that because I've never heard of that tool.
Oh, great question. It's actually one that Andy loves. So Andy introduced it to the team, which is our CEO. So Useful is great. I don't know, to be honest, all of the ins and outs. There's a lot of different ways that you can use it. But one way that we use it is with tooltips. So it's like product tools. So yeah, you can set up kind of, how do I explain it? Like step by steps across the platform on, okay, do this, this is what you should do. Here's a top tip on how to use this as an example. It's difficult to say
Yeah. All right, I'll check it out. I suppose that kind of product engagement, then are you able to then to see which people have gone through particular steps and then reach out to them? Does it connect to your data in that way?
Yeah, that's the only issue that we have had, and it is something that we are currently looking at. Is we also have a onboarding checklist. So once a customer's completed onboarding, there's a checklist there saying, okay, you know, pop a message to a live chat, for example, book in a onboarding call with their agents if you haven't already. And unfortunately, that is one of the things that we can't see. We can't see, okay, these are the people who haven't gone through this checklist or gone through these tooltips. If we could, that would be amazing. There is other tools out there like Intercom, I think. It's a little bit more expensive, where I think you can see that data, which is great for a proactive and reactive way, but unfortunately, Use4 don't have that. So something that we'll be looking at.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting you see that there's like an onboarding checklist and you can see the progression of where people have got through to. And then you can do customer success if they seem to be struggling or haven't completed something and go in that way.
Yeah.
I suppose that the old classic is, how, like we've probably discussed before, how you can kind of focus on the whales with the best opportunity for kind of growth and retention, but not offer kind of customer success where you've got the minnows who aren't potentially going to pay that much money.
Yeah. That is the hardest, sometimes the hardest thing, particularly for us, because I I guess one of the things that we struggle with is particularly an agency. So an agency for us, they're a lot more profitable rather than a single user. Because of course, an agency, they can add multiple websites and we charge per website per month. So more potential growth there. Now, the difficult thing that we have is agencies, they can often, as an agency signing up to a new tool, you wouldn't go in and add all of your clients straight away. And a lot of the time, they might not communicate with us saying, oh, I've actually got this amount of clients, but I'm only adding one or two in. So it's difficult to kind of identify based off that, if that makes sense, because all of the agencies, for example, when they first sign up, majority of our customers, they're all going to be on a similar size plan. So it is trying to understand, okay, who do we give more attention to and, support to? Who do we spend most of our time with? Yeah, that is something that has been discussed, continue to. I don't know if we will ever find that perfect solution, but something that we can only learn from.
Yeah, it's key triggers, isn't it, that you can find. I'll leave the last question to Tim and then we'll wrap up. So he's got, do you think you'll create a small sales team for higher value agency accounts to better qualify those kinds of customers and help your team manage them better?
Yeah, so what we do have is we have a person in the business called Megan, and she's actually manages partnerships. Now, she's kind of going more into partner sales, which is definitely sales, but it's on a lot bigger scale. So, we're talking hundreds, thousands, rather than, a small sales team, for like the smaller kind of typical businesses that we have. So we do have that in the making, which is great. We've got some great kind of partner sales already. Now, sorry, just having a quick look. To better qualify, yeah. To be honest, I feel like we will always be kind of product led rather than, having the sales for a particular customer base, because yeah, we did find actually by having demos with our typical customer, it kind of did add like a friction within the sales journey too. Whereas when we stopped demos, we actually got more sales, which was really interesting. So we have Megan who will manage the larger sales. Maybe we might bring someone in the future to manage more of like the lead questions and the live checks. We do get quite a few of them, and it is, down to support still. So yeah, it might be something that we do. With regards to managing the actual clients, so we do have account management in customer success, but only really for the larger clients, like your typical account management anyway. So anybody that has X amount of websites plus, that's where we'll have quarterly check-ins, for example. We'll do a lot more with them larger clients from that respect. So hopefully that answers the question.
Makes sense. Thank you so much. Right, try to keep these sessions to time. So it's half an hour. Thanks a lot, Georgia. Appreciate it. Speak to
Thank
everyone
you.
again soon. Thanks a lot.
Take
Cheers.
care,
Bye.
guys. Bye bye.